Well, hello again to all the boys and girls out there in YouTube land watching. John and Ellie of Georgia Beer Reviews back at you with another edition of Stout Sunday. And joining me this morning, we have, as always, Michael Kormaroff up in Brooklyn. Good morning, Michael.
Good morning, everybody.
We have Mr. Alex, the Beer Master, down there. He's up in New Jersey. Good morning, Alex. And the one, the only, Ronald J. Terrio, the Louisiana Stout Emperor. Good morning, Ron. All right.
Good morning, subjects.
Okay. We've got Drunken One in the chat this morning. Good morning, Drunken One. And Steph or Steve. Afternoon, everyone. It's afternoon where he is. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Let's get right into it here. We'll start with Michael. What are you drinking this morning, Michael?
Okay, this is a product from Flying Dog of Frederick, Maryland, and it's their Yule Dog Milk Stout at 7% alcohol. I've never tried this one before. It came as part of a 6-pack in a 24-pack with the Raging Bitch and some of their other items, and it's got, you know, the nice little dog picture on the front. I think their artist is great, whoever it is. You probably give credit to him somewhere on the label, but that's what it's going to be. Do you want me to pour it into the glass? Or you want me to wait till come around? I can wait till I come around the second time to do it too.
Okay, well that's fine. There's only 4 of us, so it won't take long either way. All right, Alex, you're up. What are you drinking this morning?
Pretty quick on that there, Johnny boy. We got the KBS Espresso this morning, and I'm looking forward to having it. It's very good stuff. So that's the legendary Johnny Boy showing, 12% by volume. I think I'll wait until the next time around, or well, I guess I could pour it up right now, right? Legendary Johnny.
Whatever you feel more comfortable doing.
Yeah, I think I'll pour it up. Who cares? Pour it up. Legendary Johnny.
I want you to give the link. I want you to give the link to that company so that they can send me a few hundred cases of the KBS like they did for you.
No, I didn't get no. I didn't get no cases of KBS.
I am starting to think that Alex might work for Founders because he always does have a stash of, whether it's the Mackinac Fudge, the espresso, the straight KBS. He's always got some in his fridge.
I mean, most people drink stuff like Miller High Life as their standby beer. Alex drinks KBS as their standby beer. You know, it's like
I know, isn't that crazy?
He runs out of good.
That smells good.
Damage in a bottle.
It is actually really crazy.
And while Alex is pouring up that decadent goodness there, Ron, what are you drinking this fine Sunday morning?
Okay. Well, subjects, it is pretty impressive when a person drinks KBS is what they drink when they're slumming it, you know. All right. Well, subjects, today, your emperor has Imperial, makes sense, Emperor Imperial Stout, aged in bourbon barrels, from Open Gate Brewery in Baltimore County, Maryland. Now we are going to open the cap. Now we are going to pour the bottle. Oh, we are noticing smoke. Now we, the Stout Emperor, are noticing the beautiful pour, and now we are going to turn it over to our beer subject, one of our beer subjects, the great and legendary John and Ellie of the Empire State of the South. It all works together, doesn't it?
That's right. See, it's all tying in together, people. All right, so I've got from Printers Ale Manufacturing out of Carrollton, Georgia. This is the Artifact. It's a whiskey pancake pastry stout, clocking in at 7% ABV. I have had it before, but it's been a while. And had a few beers from this brewery over the years. They make pretty good stuff. We'll go ahead and pour it up, I guess.
And I'm thinking that's probably not $1.50 a can. Am I right?
No, I think the 4-pack was $10 or $11.99. Not too bad though for craft beer prices for the 16-ounce cans. It's actually very dark brown. I can see a little bit of brown when I hold it up to the light. Nice 1.5 finger, relatively creamy looking tan head.
Yeah.
All right. And it smells good. I immediately smell that maple syrup. It just smells like breakfast in a glass. So, all right, let's go back now and we'll go back to Michael with his flying dog. Why don't you go ahead and tell us all about it?
There it is again, and I will do my pour now.
And Michael, what is the nickname of New York? You might tell us.
The Empire State.
Hey,
thank you.
And that's right. Jay's an emperor today.
We're all his loyal subjects this morning.
See, one thing about Alex training, Alex the beer master, I try so hard not to do the massive pour now that I've gotten much better at my pour. So I guess that's a good thing. And if you notice, it's very dark brown with a beige, creamy type head. Wow, it's got a nice smell too. Roasted malts. Maybe a little bit of coffee. Kind of like a baker's chocolate too. Very clean smelling beer. And I can't smell the alcohol. So it's 7% and I can't smell that it has alcohol in it. And now I will do the taste of it. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, Michael.
Cheers.
cheers.
Okay. The taste follows the nose. I guess the best way to describe it, it's not as intense as other beers that are a little bit higher in alcohol. So I wanted more heft, and it has a little bit. It's not, I wouldn't say it's hefty, but it has some. But it covers the alcohol really well. It tastes more like a session kind of milk stout. It's creamy. I'm getting the roasted malts, and I'm getting a little bit of the coffee and a little bit of the chocolate combination together. Seems to be pretty balanced too. Very drinkable. Kind of like a medium mouthfeel. This could be dangerous, I guess, because you could drink this fairly easily, and after you've had a couple, you would probably start feeling it. I'm trying to think what it's reminiscent of. Milk stouts, I think, tend to be lower in ABV than this one for the most part, but it does have a little bit more intensity, I guess. I'm actually enjoying it, and I will keep sipping on it, and we'll come around to me again, and I'll give you a number.
All right. Sounds good. Let's go down to Alex, the beer master, who is up in New Jersey with his Founders KBS Espresso. All right, Alex, go for it.
Well, this is what I have, what the legendary Johnny Boy has just said. Very good beer. I've had a couple of these things. Well, I had Mackinac Fudge more than these beers, though. But so that's a nice frothy head. Looks beautiful in that Alex the Beer Master glass. And man, it's nice and frothy. Let's see what it smells like. Smells like a chocolate, I guess it has hazelnut in it, I believe. Legendary Johnny Boy, I think that's what it is.
It's just coffee, espresso coffee. It doesn't have hazelnut in it. It's just the coffee beans that they use are different than the other KBS variants.
True that, Legendary Johnny Boy. So let's see what this tastes like, and cheers.
Cheers, Alex.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Delicious, just like the KBS and the CBS. Very delicious. I'm talking about the original KBS. Is it? Is it? Yeah.
When you get so much of it, it gets confusing. How you start to forget.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I need to find the original KBS. I keep forgetting I need to do that, so me and Johnny Boy could do a review on that as well. I've seen that. I've seen that on. What'd you say?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just said I know you're interested in that examination.
Yeah, I want to still do that with Johnny Boy. The original KBS. That'd be cool.
I can't
I've
get
seen
all
that.
the KBS variants as easily as you can, Alex. You have it appears like unlimited access to the KBS up there.
Well, there's no more. There's no more CBS. But I only. I guess
No.
but I can get the KBSs. Yeah. So it's good so far. Let me see what else tastes.
Alex, is it smooth?
Mm-hmm. Hell yeah. Very. That's the dangerous part about it.
Oh,
Very flavorful. It's very smooth. It has a little thickness to it, like it should be, because it's a KBS, and very tasty. I taste just a little bit of alcohol, but not too much. This is very tasty. So if you could still get the KBS espresso, please stock up on that, because this is good stuff. So I'm gonna keep on sipping on this, and I'll give you a rating next time around.
All right.
Cheers.
Are you getting a lot of coffee with it, or is it more chocolate than coffee?
I have a little bit more chocolate than coffee, but there is a little bit of taste of coffee, but I think it's more chocolate. Very good though, and you can have that nice warminess now as I'm drinking it. I have that nice warminess in the chest, not too bad, but just has that. It shows you that it's 12%.
All
right. You only get to experience that 2 or 3 times each day because you're a massive amount of KBS. But
Yeah, I know. I only have one more.
You ever notice when you go out on your porch, you got those big boxes full of KBS, and it says Founders Brewing Company, and then the mailing address is Alex, the beer master, and it says comp. You ever wonder why it says comp on there? It's complimentary. That's why I'm sending it for some reason.
Yeah, I know. I'm jealous.
Nobody sent me KBS, is it? It does seem like that though. Nobody sent me a KBS.
I'm the impression that you just got unlimited shipments from them for some reason.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. If you get KBS espresso, please do. I think it's a very tasty beer. I've actually had this last year, but then again, this is from 2020. So I'm confused now because I've had this last year in February with Legendary Bump Beer, at least a couple days after.
You got the 2020 version. They haven't.
They're always coming out with new issues.
For all we know, the Mackinac Fudge could have replaced. Founders is constantly coming out with new barrel-aged series beers. They brought back the Panther Cub, which is the maple bourbon barrel-aged porter. They're always coming out with new stuff. They've got a new lineup of the Mass Agave coming out this year, a couple new variants, which is the Imperial Tequila barrel-aged Goza. So they're always trying new things and cycling through stuff. That's why some stuff is discontinued, and so they got to make room for new stuff. They've only got so much space in those caves up there in Michigan for the barrel aging.
Well, but the funny part is, and after a couple of years, they'll bring it all back down. But
they might not. You never know. You never know.
Yeah, but they've done that in the past, Legendary. Because look at
they have, but there's no guarantee they're going to bring one thing back or another. It just depends on, I guess, whatever they want to do. Really.
Yeah. Because the KBS is all year round now, isn't it? Mostly. The original?
I don't know if it's produced here. I mean, it's usually available most of the year in my area. I can usually find it, but it's not. It's only made, I think, 3 or 4 months out of the year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this so far this beer's good. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you. I'm sorry.
All right. No, you're fine. All right, so we will come back around to you here shortly with a rating on the KBS Espresso, which I'm sure is going to be very high. In the meantime, we got to go to our good buddy, the Emperor himself. All right.
Well, hello, subjects. Your Emperor is very pleased to inform the universe that this beer is enjoyable. It is not cheap. Y'all better shut off that echo. We are not pleased with echoes. You will notice.
Alex, it's coming from you. Michael and I muted. Just mute your mic for a minute, Alex, while Ron's talking. There we go.
If he wasn't getting drunk off the endless supply of KBS, he wouldn't be over there echoing. And let me say this. Let us say this to you. I might go buy some more KBS Mackinac Fudge because Mathern still has 4 packs for $20.99.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah, if I freeze up, I could jump over to Google Chrome. I'm on Opera right now. All right. We are noticing whiskey in the nose, bourbon. We are tasting lots of malt. We are tasting a rich bourbon, barrel, wood, oak. We are noticing that the body is not particularly heavy for the 10.3% alcohol. And we, the Stout Emperor, are also noticing a relatively sweet finish. I mean, the price is not nice, all right? And the distribution apparently is even worse. There's Georgia, which is much bigger of a state than little old backwoods, totally ignored and disrespected Louisiana. But then I don't think Georgia got the gingerbread or the bourbon barrel aged Guinness.
I didn't see either one. We didn't get the that bullet barrel, the one that David gave me when I came down there. We never saw that one either. So no, we don't.
Oh, the bullet.
I've never had the Antwerpen or the porter or any of the specialty beers. I haven't really had any of them.
Jay, they were in New York, but they were in and gone. In other words, they came in. I didn't buy them right away, and then I went back looking the second time, and it was all gone.
Yeah, I never saw them at all here. So,
well, in this swampy backwater on the Gulf Coast along the Mississippi River, when we noticed that it was in the store, meaning Total Wine and More, because we did not see it too many other places, we immediately purchased a 4-pack of the Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels and the gingerbread stout. Unfortunately, we became ill around Christmas and we could not even smell the spices in one of our samplings. We could not smell nor taste anything for a week, which we found very irritating.
Yeah.
But that went away. This is a strange product. Guinness is a whipping boy. I was talking about that at dawn this morning on my taste challenge, that there's a lot of brands that are whipping boys. The beer snob people crowd likes to attack. In the macro beer world, well, we know what beer that is. In the specialty sort of quasi specialty world, Guinness is the whipping boy because it's a big company, and people like to say, "Look at me, I'm attacking Guinness," and then they'll say, "Oh, it tastes like burnt rubber shoes and chemical byproducts and all these things," but it doesn't taste like anything like that. It tastes like a really good product. I think there's some jealousy involved with Guinness. I don't know why. There are Diageo, okay, Diageo, big, huge liquor company, wine company, beer company, and all of that. I mean, I have no control over that, okay? I don't control who owns what. I just buy it and drink it. But this is really nice. I mean, assuming you like barrel-aged beers. I'm not like super enthralled by them. I've said this before. I mean, it's okay. I mean, to drink a beer and to taste whiskey in it, I don't really understand why you would want to do that. I know that's like the thing. But for what it is, I mean, I'm really enjoying it. I just don't know why you would want to drink a beer that has a whiskey flavor. Why wouldn't you just go drink whiskey? And I'm not going to start ranting and raving, but I'm saying I don't understand. I mean, we don't understand it in our imperial eminence. We don't understand it.
No, all right. Well, I guess the whiskey thing is kind of. I mean, I see what you're saying, but I don't know. I do like whiskey, and barrel aged stuff maybe a little bit more than you do. But the interesting thing about the Guinness, that the straight one, I guess, is more along the lines of what people would expect with a barrel aged stout. The gingerbread one, I believe, is the one that most people. That's where most of the controversy lies with the Guinness line. I've heard people just slam that beer.
You know why?
Legendary Johnny Boy and Legendary Ron Terrio. I've never had that yet. I'm hoping next year.
I think Ron is the only one on the panel that Michael saw him briefly and then they disappeared off the shelves very quickly. But
I had it 4 times and I could taste it 3 times. But on the 3 times I was able to taste it, what I noticed was you get a lot of gingerbread spice. But the complaint was that the body was too thin. They said, "Oh, it's got a porter body." Okay, well, it is a porter, but it wasn't a stout porter in people's perception of it. And so it was powerful, 11%. But people complained.
Oh, it was 11%? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I don't know why, but no one was actually saying it tasted bad. They were just saying, "I don't like the thin body. I don't like the thin body." I said, "Well, I didn't like the thin body either, but all things considered,
as long as it tastes good, enjoy it.
Pretty nice, everything doesn't have to be thick."
No.
I mean,
you find that the straight, the one that you're drinking today has more body than the gingerbread, or they're about the same?
Definitely has more body. It's more like a thick Guinness beer, I don't know what they did with that gingerbread stout. I don't understand the science behind it. But if I was looking to drink a gingerbread flavored gimmick, mass-produced, thin-bodied stout beer from Baltimore County, Maryland, I'd pick it,
Yeah. Well, you would just think that the gingerbread, like the gingerbread variant would be the Guinness bourbon barrel aged one that you're drinking today would be the base for the gingerbread one. They would just flavor it with gingerbread.
It was clearly not. Yeah, it was clearly not the same. Clearly not the base.
Right.
Well, that's fascinating because that's telling me they're not just taking shortcuts and just throwing anything out there and saying, "Well, let's use a base and add this to it, add that to it, add that to it." They're really trying to do interesting things. So who knows what they're going to have this year? It's easy for you and Michael and Alex and myself because we do not have an axe to grind. So we're not like trying to say, "Oh, well, I'm going to show Guinness what it's all about. I'll get them. I'll show them." We're just trying it and tasting it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't plan on. I don't see. I'm not. All of us, just like you just said, Ron. I'm not into having a war against breweries. Oh, they don't taste good. Oh, get their beer better. You know, if their beer's not that good, that's fine. But maybe the following year the beer will be better. That's how I see it. So I don't do an axe of grime or anything. I enjoy the beer, and that is that. If people want to go have a war with those breweries, go ahead. But my friends here enjoy the beer, not have freaking arguments over stupid crap.
You need to develop a consciousness,
Cheers.
a social consciousness, and you haven't developed that. Okay, John and Neely.
All right.
Sorry, John.
The Emperor has, all right, he's given me the floor, so I will go ahead and talk about my beer really quick. So once again, I'm drinking this right here, the Printers Ale Manufacturing Company out of Carrollton, Georgia, the Artifact, 7%. The head died down, but it does have that thin little film remaining. The aroma, maple syrup.
Legendary Johnny Boy, do you mind if I see the can again, please?
Sure, Alex. Just for you. There it is. The whiskey pancake pastry stout. So
I might have to get that with you. All right, thank you, Johnny Boy.
Yeah, it's mostly maple syrup. It does have like a little bit of a pancakey vibe to it, definitely, or a breakfast vibe. Just maybe a touch of whiskey. You know, I noticed it doesn't actually say anywhere on the label that it is barrel aged, which makes me think that they're just using whiskey flavored maple syrup. It doesn't. I mean, if they barrel aged it, you would think that it would be clearly disclosed on the label. I know if it was my beer, I would want that clearly written on the label.
Honestly, Johnny Boy, I will tell you this. I've never heard of maple syrup whiskey. I'll have to look that up. I've heard of it, what you just said now, but I've never heard. But you
is Ron calling for a timeout? What is that? Timeout?
Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt you. I have done some research, and what some whiskey companies do is they add something called oak extract to the whiskey to give it like a barrel-aged oak flavor. So I think it's possible that they might have used what's called oak extract. Just saying.
They very well could have.
Ron Terrio strikes again. That's why I love you.
Right.
I can't help it. It's
it's very possible they did that. Or I've actually seen whiskey maple syrup before too. So it could be that. It could be the oak extract or the oak flavoring. But yeah, it definitely doesn't have a very strong whiskey component. It's mostly the maple syrup, a little bit of the roasty, toasty, bready malt character. And then the palate follows exactly the same. It starts out with that maple syrup, but it's not too sweet. It's a little bit of the maple syrup. The star of the show with this is the bready malt character. It's very dark, toasted bread notes in the middle of the sip. It's got an astringency to it because of that, like a bitterness from the roasted malt character because of how dark it is. The body, though, with this is actually relatively thin. It doesn't really have a stout body. It drinks more like a maple porter. I mean,
well, apparently, though, John.
What, Alex?
Apparently, Johnny Boy, this is probably your second or third time, so you had to like the beer to get it again. So regardless what the body
I just bought 1 4-pack. I've just had it sitting in the back of my fridge for a while. I do like it though. No, it's not bad beer. It's just it's a little light body for a stout. The whiskey, you know, however they're getting that whiskey flavor, it's very minimal. But it's not too sweet. There's no thickness whatsoever from the maple syrup. It's relatively thin-bodied, like I said, for a stout. Carbonation is on the low side. It's very smooth and relatively refreshing, especially for a stout. It does because it doesn't really drink like a stout. The 7% alcohol is masked very well. It's very enjoyable. I like it. It's just not delivering on the whiskey notes. It doesn't have any type of barrel age presentation, and it's just a little on the thin side, but it's a good beer.
Like you said, Johnny Boy, it doesn't say barrel age. So I mean, you just said on the can.
Whiskey pancake pastry stout. There's really no pastry. I don't know why they call it a pastry stout. It's just like
I don't know either.
think it would pair well with a popcorn.
It probably would. Yeah, I mean, it would definitely pair well with pancakes,
Pop-Tarts. Yeah.
Waffles.
Yep. But anyway, yeah, an enjoyable beer. All right, so let's see. Really quick, just want to go to the chat. Thanks to Jules and Drunken One and Steph and Jean-Pierre is drinking coffee this morning while he's watching. I'm not sure what this comment. I don't know what that means. Drunken One. Does Ron have a rat in his pocket?
Oh my God, Drunken One, you're a trip.
Let me tell you something, Drunken One. Only thing I got in my pocket, and I'm gonna show y'all live on the internet.
No, don't do that. What do you do?
It's lint. Handkerchief.
Now, how you feel, Played?
All right. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in this morning. We appreciate it. We got to go back around and get our final thoughts and ratings on all of these wonderful beers that we're drinking this morning. So we're going to go back to Michael Kobroff with his Flying Dog Yule Dog Milk Stout. What do you think, Michael?
Michael, you're muted. You're muted. You're muted, Michael.
All right, Alex, calm down. He'll figure it out.
After this is what it looks like, what the bottle looks like again. After carefully looking at the bottle again, and by the way, its good date or its freshness date is 4/10/21. The alcohol is actually 7.4, not 7, John. So you can correct that. Like, if not, I mean, it doesn't matter. This is what I have left. So I've been sipping on it. I'm very pleased with it. I would say this is a fairly solid milk stout. It does have enough heft to it, enough power in it, the feel of it, the very drinkable, and enough of the flavor and its balance that be something that I would definitely buy again. I have more of it in this. Still have 5 bottles left of it, which I'm going to be drinking, and I'm happy with it. I'm going to give it a 94, which is an A.
All right. Now that variety pack, you said, how much did it cost?
It was $30 for 24, so $1.25 a beer, which is, I think, quite reasonable. But it was at Costco, where if you buy a case, you get a discount, which is nice.
Right. Okay. All right, Alex, what do you think of the KBS Espresso?
I think it's very tasty. It keeps a nice frothy head. That's what I like about these kind of beers. I mean, that proves that it's a good quality beer. I mean, in most cases, doesn't mean that's always the case. I don't know. But in most cases, I guess that means it's a quality beer. Correct me if I'm wrong about that, Johnny Boy, Ron Terrio, Michael, one of you. But
I guess if
go ahead, Ron. Sorry.
Indicate that it.
Yeah.
No, saying if you drink a beer and it tastes awesome, that might indicate that it's awesome.
Awesome beans. Absolutely.
Whoa,
so it does have that dryness too as I'm drinking it. I forgot to tell you about that. But again, I guess it all depends on the beer. But go ahead, Ron, what?
No, you're good, Alex.
Just comments Blake was making.
It was just
Blake was making me think of what I've been seeing. Yeah.
And it has that like kind of like a little bit of has sweetness. Kind of has a little bit of bitter. Maybe no, I don't know if it's bitter. I don't know because it's not bitter because it's a stout. I don't know. It's just I think it's the dryness. It's not bitter. I don't think it's the bitterness. There's no bitterness. I think it's just dryness, and that's what's causing that bitterness. It's not bitter. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I think that's why it feels like it's bitter because it's dry after I drink it. There's no bitterness. It's just that bitterness because of dryness. Very weird.
A dry bitterness.
Yes, there you go. It's not bitter. It's just bitter because of the dryness.
I want you to start saying, I don't know what the heck I'm talking about.
What the heck I'm talking about. So,
yeah,
I'm going to give this.
G.
I'm going to give this beer. It's a very tasty beer. I don't like the dryness of it, but maybe because I didn't drink any water this morning. Maybe, I don't know.
Might be.
I'm going to give this beer, because it has great flavor, great mouthfeel, I'm going to give it a 95. Cheers.
So not as good as the Mackinac fudge, huh?
No, what I need to do in the next several months, which will be probably not until the end of this year, is get more Mackinac fudge and get more espresso, even though I have one left for you to review with you, and I have two of the CBS one to review with you and one to review on my channel. But either way, I have the big Lushers, hoping that will be coming around again. But I think what you just said, Johnny Boy, a couple of weeks ago, you only got that from the legendary, I think it was Robert or one of the YouTube. Who was it?
The big that was Miscellaneous sent me a bottle.
Yeah, Andrew. I know it was one of our friends. So a 95 it is. If you can get espresso, please do the KBS. Please, if you can get the original KBS, please get that as well. That is a delicious beer as well. Johnny Boy has obviously drank it. All of us has drank it before. So get that as well.
Please buy Founders products. Alex will get 20% of all the proceeds for any Founders sales. So please support Alex, support Founders.
No disclaimer, but Johnny Boy's just joking around. I don't work for Founders. He's a ball buster.
Right.
But I love him for
it. You don't work for him.
All right. So we got a 94. We got a 95. I'm curious to hear what Mr. Terrio is thinking of his Guinness Bourbon Barrel Aged Imperial Stout over there in Louisiana, the Emperor.
Legendary Ron Terrio, you have the floor.
Thank you.
I was looking out the window. I realized I was looking out the window. Even though we have all tried KBS, I thought it would be important to mention that we have not all examined KBS on an online hangout live.
No, we didn't. We still need to do that, Legendary Ron Terrio.
I mentioned that in case people hadn't realized it. Now,
no, we haven't.
But we're like the little engine that could. We're going to keep on saying, I think I can. And then one day we're going to say, you know what? I know I can. And I'm very open-minded, and being an emperor, I should say, we are very open-minded about reviewing KBS and an online examination. And if I notice on the internet one day that an online examination was done and I wasn't invited, then we will unleash Imperial Fury.
No, that's not going to happen, Ron Terrio. If I do a KBS or Johnny Boy does or Michael, or we're going to be biting you no matter what. No, that's not going to be that way. Hell no.
Because we in our Imperial innocence would find it very insulting not to be invited. But anyway, going on.
Just to let you know, Ron Terrio, I have you on Facebook, so I can get a hold of you anytime I want.
I've noticed that. I meant to say, we've noticed that, and we have noticed very persistent and impressive postings. A lot of people post stuff like Busch Light, Old Milwaukee, but we have noticed that Alex posts things like this most expensive product here, this most expensive product there, this most expensive product here. And so we are very fascinated and somewhat puzzled by this endless availability of extremely expensive craft beers coming from the New Jersey source. So we are, yes, jealous, and envious, and not to mention perplexed. But going back.
Love you, Ron. Keep it up.
And we're also very happy that none of the Dawn Busters or later morning taste challenges coupled with this 10.3% bourbon barrel aged stout have affected our imperial faculties nor cognitive ability to communicate on the internet. But that being said, we are going to score this relatively expensive product a 95 out of 100.
Oh, so you're doing a 95 too. Awesome, legendary Rontario. Awesome.
We would appreciate that. We are referred to as Louisiana Stout Emperor. Thank you very much. But yes, we have scored it.
Your trip.
All right. So 95 out of 100. All right. Well, I guess my beer is the loser for the day. It's a great beer. It doesn't have enough body. It lacks the whiskey, the notes that I'm really looking for. It's still a wonderful beer. It just drinks like a porter more than a stout. The 7% passed well. I am enjoying it. I'm going to give it an 89. I'm going to do B+. It's a great beer.
Give it a 90, Johnny boy. It is still a good, delicious beer.
Alex, I cannot be swayed. My ratings are what they are. Yeah, accept it, buddy.
Okay.
It's an 89. It's a B+. It's almost there. It just needs a little bit more body, a little bit more of that whiskey presentation. Would have been nice, but it wasn't there. Okay, so now
Johnny boy, I don't hate to interrupt, but I have a crazy mind, as you know. I gave you experiences on this and before. If you obviously have whiskey in your apartment, I know you do. I bet you if you just put just a little bit of drop on that, sometime in the future, not today, but sometime in the future, and I guarantee you, probably give you more delicious flavor. I could be wrong.
It definitely would give me more whiskey if I put whiskey in it. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, not today, but some other time.
I can guarantee you that Johnny has more than one bottle of whiskey in his apartment.
Well, no, I'm not saying do it today because he has other things to do. But
I got a few bottles. Okay, so now is the time of the show. We go back around. If anybody has any show and tell, channel plugs, shout outs, whatever, do it now or forever hold your peace.
I'm going to do it too.
We got Multi Monday tomorrow. Multi Monday tomorrow with the Old Ale. So on Bumpy Road Brewery. So anybody that can get an Old Ale and wants to join, it's 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central. Alex has got his ready. Tonight is After Dark Beers with Bumpy on his channel as well. Any porter, stout, black IPA, any dark beer that is dark from the roasted malts and not from the addition of like fruits or additives that would color the beer.
And just to let you know, Bumpy will also let you go on if you have a brown ale. That as far as the lightness of what Bumpy has said. It has to be a brown ale or a dark beers. But if it's not a brown ale,
what if we have a beer colored with caramel coloring?
You would have to ask Bumpy that. I can't help you with that one. You would have to ask the legendary Bumpy. I don't know. But I just know what I
malts. It's got to be dark from the roasted malt. That's
it has to be dark like that. But if you want a lighter beer or lightest beer, it has to be a brown ale. That as far as Bumpy will let you go. That's it. That's what Bumpy has said. I don't know if you remember that, Johnny Boy, but that's what he said in the past.
Yeah. Okay, so Beer Guy, thanks for tuning in. Oh, I got a friend. Okay, well, I'll have to get on Facebook later, and I will accept your friend request. He's got a picture of Gano. Okay, good deal. Okay, Michael, you got any news? Any exciting beer events coming up?
This Thursday, my group will be getting together. It's going to it'll probably be a very limited attendance, but that's what the pandemic has done. People are still afraid to come out and inside, so it'll be limited. I'm going to probably do mostly dark beers because as you get more into the spring, getting into more New England style IPAs, but at least we're still few more weeks of official winter, so early March can be for darker beers, stouts, porters, brown ales, that kind of thing. I got the Brewers Guild, the 12 beers that came. I told you about it. It was $90 with the shipping, and they came. And guess what one of the beers was, John?
Oh, Keto Cowboy, 15. Man, all right.
Look, it looks like
I still have some, but this is an additional one that I didn't expect to get.
Legendary Michael. Is that a barrel aged beer?
That's a barrel aged beer, 15.4.
Is it a stout?
It's
or
a
a
stout.
porter?
It's a
Okay.
stout.
And what is it? Coconut or what is it?
It's a stout with coconut, cinnamon, nut,
Damn, I was right.
vanilla.
Hmm.
I've had it before.
Alex,
It's excellent.
Alex, you've been calling
Okay.
people all this language. Hey, Michael, I bet that's brewed in Memphis, huh?
It's funny now. This was one of the ones that was brewed in Brooklyn, because this was when it was brewed, was a limited edition thing. But now they're brewing, it seems, in mostly in Pennsylvania, because they're in this deal, this artisanal thing with Victory. So they must be using whatever Victory uses as their facility, is where the 6 Point now is coming out of. That's what it seemed like. It seemed like there were two different breweries in Pennsylvania that they were using, but they still brew anything locally that they're going to distribute as a limited release, and that's what this was. And I looked at the bottom; it's the same as the ones that I had still here, canned on 12/18. So this is from the end of last year, and it's funny how when you do take the chance of buying 12 beers, which they're choosing for you, there is some risk in it. Remember, I told you, I think last week, that I knew I was taking a risk, whether it was going to be okay, middle of the road. It's not top level. I didn't get everything that I thought I'd get or hope to get, but I think it was fairly done. In this case, it was mostly New England style IPAs, but there were two stouts. I got, unfortunately, a beer from Coney Island, 3.8% mild. It's a mild lager. I got that. And I also got some couple of lagers. But I did get, was interesting, from KCBC, which is a local brew pub that I've been to, a Vienna style lager, which I can use for a future Malty Monday, because that one seems to be one that comes up every week. It gets kind of into the action, but it hasn't gotten over the hump yet. I also bought a Trogs.
No, and I bought
What, Jay?
He said
Jay
something, and I didn't hear him.
I said it's too bad, because I bought a 12-pack of Vienna Lager yesterday.
So you're ready for Multi Monday whenever that wins too, which is good. I also bought a bottle of Trogs Nugget Nectar, which is an Imperial Red, because that's another style that we've been voting on and has a chance to win.
Did you say Troves Legendary, Michael?
Yes. Alex, you can definitely get Trogs. It's a Pennsylvania brewery. You can get it in your area.
Drank a couple of Troves, but I don't know if I can get that beer you just said. I can get Troves.
I think it's 7.5% alcohol, so it would qualify as an Imperial Red. And I picked up a bottle. I thought I overpaid for it, but I'm willing to do it just because I wanted the style.
Michael, are you talking about that thing that you sent me and to other people?
Yes.
Okay, is it possible can I still use that, or that's just that one-time thing? I don't know.
You can still do it, but it only goes for the full time of Beer Week, which I think runs. Let's see what it says on the thing. This is what they sent with the beer. It's New York Beer Week. I think it's 10 days. It started last Friday, 2 days ago, and it goes till the end of next week, I think.
Which will be next Friday.
Well, it's more than a week, so it probably goes through next Sunday, I think. But they don't have any. They don't have any in the years before the pandemic. They used to have events, outside where people attended. Now it's all Zoom events, and it's completely different. So it's not as much fun. But I guess some people do take part in some
Well,
of
you
it.
know, the way I see it, Michael, and I don't want to get political again, hoping once all this vaccine crap is over, all this stuff is done, eventually everybody could be outside again and they could do what they've always done. So, hoping in the future they'll
We're,
ever do
we're,
that.
we're all hopeful.
So, that's all I got to say. Cheers.
Okay, so yeah, Mr. Terrio, what do you have coming up on? You're not doing. We don't have a Wednesday night theme show on Louisiana Beer Reviews. There's probably going to be a wild card Wednesday. I know Eric's been started that back up. What do you have in the works over on Louisiana Beer Reviews?
Legendary Ontario.
Thank you, Alex.
I did go to a store that did not wear a mask, and no one said a word. So I thought to myself, "Oh, good, the scamdemic is starting to collapse." But beyond that, I get some feedback on Wildcard Wednesday. Bit feedback, but well, coming up on this week there's nothing, so I guess somebody will swing into action to do a rescue operation on Wednesday, and
Well,
we'll
that would
watch
be-
the replay, assuming I've had any of the beers. People, what?
I said probably because Legendary Eric will probably rescue that Legendary Ontario most likely because he's
Right. Assuming I'll watch the right now. I'll watch the replay, assuming I've had any of the beers that they showcased. Now, I've been doing a lot of taste challenges due to scheduling, so I could show you this bottle, but I know you're jealous. But don't be too jealous. But I did find this a couple of years ago in Meridian, Mississippi. This is not ancient age. This is the ancient age, and it's 90 proof. And yeah, I have a bottle in my hand, and you don't. So, but anyway,
yeah, but that was a couple of years ago.
John
Legendary
Neely's thinking-
Ontario.
right? You'd buy that if you saw that, right, John and Neely?
I actually for a while I was looking for it pretty hard. I was looking for it pretty hard. I couldn't find it. I guess it was a couple years ago when you got or whenever you bought the bottle, I was like, ooh, because I loved the standard ancient age. I think it's one of the best budget bourbons on the market. So I was really looking for that ancient age, and nobody had it. I even tried to order it, and none of the stores. It wasn't even available in my market. So, unfortunately,
Yeah, it's a sour mash straight bourbon whiskey, 90 proof. But anyway, I did find Meridian, Mississippi. But what's coming up? I got a lot of taste challenges I got to do in a hurry, like one after the other, one after the other, one, and then another one, then another one, then another one. And luckily, it won't affect me. But I have I have Old Overholt. And interestingly, this is the new red cap.
Mm.
Come to find out, it's 86 proof, non-chill filtered. So I said, whoa, going into competition, and it may be done today. May be done today. We're going to, give it a little time due to certain consumption issues. But here is the competitor. Whoa.
that's going to be tough to beat that Sazerac Rye probably.
Yeah, and guess how much they're selling Sazerac Rye for in Louisiana the past 6 months?
I don't know, Legendary Ontario.
Probably ridiculously low price, like I don't know, $11.99 maybe.
Oh, well, not that ridiculous. But I watch video reviews all the time, and people say, "Oh, I watch video reviews, and people say, well, I think it's worth $30. I think it's worth $35. I think it's worth $30." Well, just to let y'all know, they're selling it at all the stores here for $17.99. You heard me right,
Okay.
$17.99. Sazerac Rye, 90 proof. And believe me, you, it's worth it. Now, would you like me to tell you what's coming up on the Hangouts real quick?
Go ahead, Legendary
Yes.
Ontario.
Let us know.
Alex, I always defer to you because anyone who gets unlimited supplies of KBS, I defer to them. What is your question?
Man, damn, I can't remember now. Oh no, I was gonna ask that it was about about your
damn and damn and hell. He's been hanging out with the wankers too long. All right, what now?
no, about the stuff you can actually get that whenever you want though, basically, because I think it was like something to a price. It was like
Basically, that's
the price is not as bad for you actually, Ron. You actually look for the whiskeys that are less priced.
Yeah,
you
right.
know, even though they're good whiskey, you want to make sure they're less. I think that's what you do.
Ron,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but I think
Ron he gets some good deals down there in Louisiana. Alex.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I was about to say. I think that's good.
All right.
You mean like a bottle of Woodford Reserve for $13.98? Okay. Woodford Reserve rye. Okay, here's what's coming up. Here's what's coming. All right. Here's what's coming up on March 10th. Box. We're going to examine any box. Any box you can get a hold of, we'll examine it. It can be a box, a dark box, a doppelbock, a single box. I don't care. It could be from America, Germany. If you tell me you can't find a box, you're lying. You know you're lying. All right.
I'll try to find
March
one
10th,
legendary Ron.
well, if you try, you will. You will find it. March 10th, 7:20 Eastern Time. March 17th. Any cheap wine, any bottle of cheap wine, $10 or less for a white wine. Don't lie to me. If you tell me you can't find a bottle of wine for $10 or less, you're lying. Okay, just tell me point blank. I don't want to drink that trash. Better than that, I don't need that in my life. Okay, I'll go along with that. March 24th. Corona Familiar, not Corona.
Oh, I can get that.
Corona Familiar.
I can get that.
You know, don't be a cheapskate. Go pay your $3 and get the bottle and going up. And the last but not least, March 31st, down in LA was the tipping point. He's the one that solved the riddle. He demanded it, and I went along with it, that we are going to review canned chiladas. March 31st, canned chiladas.
Awesome.
Beer based. Millie, you are the man who determined this outcome.
Awesome. I'm excited. Okay,
Jay,
so
is the first week in April still Budweiser?
You know, anybody can get Budweiser. That's not
I'm
hard.
saying that was what it was originally.
But Michael, I know, but Michael, you could also get the Budweiser Nitro, which is an all malt, no corn or rice. It's an all malt beer. It's barley malt, hops, yeast, and water. So you could get that. That's no adjuncts.
Okay, so it's all Budweiser products.
Any Budweiser product.
all right. Okay, we have been going on an hour. We'll go ahead and wrap this thing up. Let's see. I failed to mention the Beer and Cheese Tuesday on Beer Man's channel, and then Alex has got Food Friday. Coming up this Friday. What's the topic?
Food Friday will be donuts. Get some donut beer or just get some stouts, whatever you can get that's based on donut beers or just stouts. Because I don't know where you can get a donut beer per se. So, but there is donut beer. There is a donut beer on Evil Twin, but I don't know if I can get that beer. So, either way, get a stout or any beer that's based off of donut. I'm not gonna make things difficult because I don't know when you can get a donut beer.
Sounds good. Yeah, Johnny
donuts.
Tactical. What about a sour Saturday? I don't know. Maybe one of these days, Johnny. You've got a lot going on already. It's hard to keep up with everything.
Johnny Boy, but with
to,
donuts though. Johnny Boy, but with donuts. So
yes.
I don't want to get confused here. Okay. All right. Thank you.
No. I'm just reading the chat, Alex.
Right.
Okay, so let's go ahead and wrap this up. I want to thank Michael, Alex, and Ron Terrio for joining me on this wonderful Stout Sunday. Thanks to everybody in the chat. We wouldn't be here without you. We appreciate your comments and support. And that'll do it. We'll see you all in the next one. Until then, everybody, cheers.
Cheers. Peace out, everybody.